Hi, my fellow Americans. I'm Dr. Stephen Clark Bradley, and this is what I think. This is our final video, and video 3, of our look at who Kamala Harris really is and why we should never vote for her for Vice President of the United States of America. It spells disaster for you personally, and for you as an American, and for the nation itself. Not to mention she and Joe Biden together. This is a plot to take over the nation, to take over our future, to make us a socialist country, that you will no longer have the rights that you have today. No rights to bear arms, no rights to speak publicly as you wish. Everything in your life will face control by the government, by a bloated, fat, humongous, all-powerful, and oppressive state. And Kamala Harris is one to bring that. She's, as we pointed out, she's already been voted as the most socialist-leaning person in Congress, either in the House of Representatives or in the Senate. In all of Congress, she is the most liberal and most socialist-leaning person there. So we need to leave her there, so that when her next vote comes up, we can defeat her and bring America a safer person in Congress that won't be trying always to change us into a communist nation. She is a Marxist. She is a Marxist comrade. Kamala, that's what she is. So now what we want to look at, we looked at her illicit relationship, first of all, her racist background, which I don't blame her for that. But since she blames us for it, I blame her too, because fair is fair. Whatever standard she holds up for us, we must hold up for them and everybody in the government. All right? Nobody is above the law, the Democrats say, except those who make the laws. That's what they believe. Nobody's above the law, except us, because we make the law. It's ridiculous, and we got to stop it. She should never be elected to anything close to vice president, let alone not even senator. But she got that in our second point about her because of her sexual and illicit relationship with Willie Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco and former Speaker of the House of Representatives in California. And she got what she didn't deserve. By the way, it's very clear that after she was voted into office as Attorney General of California, she broke up her relationship with Willie Brown. She didn't need him anymore. Yeah, just walked away from him after he had divorced and everything. So this woman is evil. This woman is no good. This woman will do the same thing for America that she did for California. And we're going to look at that right now. We're going to look at her dubious and duplicitous actions as California's Attorney General. All right, it's a terrible situation. During one of the presidential debates, Tulsi Gabbard, who was running for president, who I rather liked, to tell you the truth. I thought she was a breath of fresh air in the in the Democrat Party. And it's interesting because a lot of Republicans liked Tulsi Gabbard. I don't agree with her on many things. Of course, she's way too liberal for me. But I mean, within that group, she was definitely the least liberal of all of them. And she is a patriot. She fought in the military and a real supporter of the U.S. military. But the Democrats hated her. Why? Because she told the truth. She told the truth. She let them know what was wrong in the party, what was going wrong. And they accused her of even being an associate of Russia. Sound familiar? If they don't like someone, they immediately accuse them of being a friend of Vladimir Putin. Insanity. Total insanity, these people. But during one of the debates, Tulsi Gabbard really went after Kamala Harris. And she had pointed out that, let me just read some of this to you that I have here in my notes. Very interesting stuff. She said, during the debate, Tulsi Gabbard told the public about the unlawful, deceitful criminal justice record of Senator Kamala Harris as Attorney General of California. Tulsi Gabbard, the Congresswoman's words, showed that Kamala Harris has a great thirst for power. Let me read you her quote. These are exact words from Tulsi Gabbard. She said during the debate, she said, and I quote, "Kamala Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor, and she'll be a prosecutor president. But I'm deeply concerned about this record." And we all should be. She's totally right. She went after her, and many different points that we're going to point out here so you have a good idea of why we should be worried about what she would do as president based on what she did as Attorney General of California. She talked about how she had locked up 1,000 marijuana users. I don't know what your view of marijuana is. That's not the point here. Marijuana was illegal at the time. And it's interesting, Tulsi Gabbard pointed out, and we could see from the record, that's the great thing about having video nowadays. You can't lie, but it's amazing. Democrats can seem to make people believe that the video is lying, even though it's what they said. It's amazing, almost demonic. But after having locked up 1,000 different people and bragging about it, Kamala Harris got on TV and laughed about smoking marijuana herself. All right? Talking about how she thinks it should be legal and talking about, that's up to you. I really truly don't have much problem with the legality of it. But I can tell you that it's wrong for her to say, I smoke marijuana, but to lock 1,000 people up for just smoking a joint. So the duplicitous attitude of this woman. Now you say that's a small crime. What would she do for people like us, for bigger crimes? What's good for her is bad for others. What's bad for her is good for others, just like I said before. The woman is dubious, and she is also hypocritical. She's immoral, and she's got racist background. And that's because she only cares about herself. Dictators, power-thirsty people are the most selfish people on earth. They'll use you, they'll use me as much as they can until we stop them to get what they want, to get the power they crave. This woman can never be president or vice president of the United States. You can kiss America goodbye if it happens. Gabbard also, let me go on a few more things that she said during that debate. And she went after Kamala Harris in that debate. She really tore into her and told the truth. She said, there are too many examples to cite, but she, meaning Kamala Harris, put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. What do you think of that? Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. That's her. That's her theme for life. Gabbard also said she, Kamala Harris, blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. That means she had the proof that a man who was going to be executed on death row was innocent of the crime he was accused of. And she refused to give the evidence. Think about it. She should have gone to jail for that herself. She's willing to let a person die. That's almost like premeditated murder. And then finally, the courts in California forced her to give up the evidence, and he was set free. She was willing to let an innocent man, whom she knew was innocent, remain in prison. We don't know why. Could be a number of reasons. Who knows why? But she would not give up the evidence that proved his innocence until the court forced her to do it. That's pretty terrible. What would she do as president or vice president? Because either way, with the title of vice president or president, she's going to be the president. Everything that Joe Biden would do as president would have her finger on it. And she would be the one to implement it all. So Tulsi Gabbard told the truth about this woman. And it serves as good lessons for us to know who we're voting for. I would never vote for Tulsi Gabbard. But I wouldn't be nearly as fearful if she won the presidency as I am that Kamala Harris would even be vice president. At least Tulsi Gabbard loves the troops. She loves the military. And I think she loves the country. She just has the wrong approach to leading it and the wrong ideas for it. But I can tell you that Kamala Harris isn't just a liberal. I mean, now with what we see going on in the Democrat Party, Democrat-Socialist Party, makes the word liberal sound almost positive compared to the lefty that we see out there now. The lefties out there in our streets, burning down our buildings, bombing the streets, killing people, killing our police officers, destroying property, trying to force people out of their own homes, saying you don't have a right to private property. Liberals were never like that before. Almost makes you long for Ted Kennedy. At least he seemed to have a real respect for the nation, even if you didn't agree with him. These people, like Pelosi, AOC, Chuck Schumer even, they're not liberals. They're socialists, and they want to burn our country to the ground. They said so several times this week. It's insane. Tulsi Gabbard also said she kept people in prison, talking about Kamala Harris. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. Can you believe that? That's what she did as Attorney General. What will she do as president or vice president? The woman is selfish. She'll do what's good for her, what makes her look good. I can't even stand the sound of her voice because I know what she has planned for you and for me. I know. Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, AOC, Elizabeth Warren, all those will form the next administration if it's a Joe Biden administration. They'll be the ones running the country that you gave your blood, sweat, and tears to build. The country that you want your kids to live in the future, they're going to be the ones to decide what's good for your children, what they should learn in school, and how they should be taught how America's a racist, evil country. That's what's going to happen if Joe Biden wins and if Kamala Harris wins. It cannot be allowed. This is all public record. I'm going to read here the points that I have studied and learned. It says Kamala Harris simply denied the powerful words of Congresswoman Gabbard. You know what she said, how she defended herself? She said, "Oh, they know I'm the front runner. I'm the most powerful candidate, and they want to do everything they can to pull me down." That's such BS. It wasn't 2 months later that she was forced to quit in December of 2019 because nobody liked her. I remember once she was campaigning and she said, "Do you feel like you're ready for a president like me?" And nobody clapped. Nobody said yay. And she looked terrified because the truth smacked her across the face. Nobody wants this woman. Why did Joe Biden pick someone like this? Because he was ordered to. He was told to. Because she has been chosen to be the one to bring socialism into the nation, into the United States, to destroy our country as we've known it. It's just terrible. And then lastly, and perhaps most importantly, Kamala Harris hates Trump supporters. She has said herself that she called him Cheeto, after Donald Trump is gone, we are going to be looking for you, those who have supported Donald Trump and who have betrayed us. Here's her exact words. It says, "And once Trump is gone, and we have gained our rightful place in the White House, look out if you supported him and endorsed his actions, because we will be coming for you next." Can you believe that? We will be coming for you next. Now Kamala Harris has been nominated for vice president. And we know what her plans for us are. and we cannot allow her to do this. Let me just ask you a few questions here before we close this off. America, do you remember the Obama-Biden era? When you could not find the job that could pay the bills? When you lived off of unemployment? When you feared for your kids to go outside due to the terrorist attacks all around us? When you could not plan for your future because of trying to survive in the present? When your salary had not increased for over a decade? When your taxes were so high you often wondered if it was even worth working? When you could not sleep at night knowing how long you'd wake up at home without being thrown out? When America's military raided aircraft cemeteries to find parts to keep the airplanes flying? When Obama and Biden did not care about America's place or future in the world? When America was crumbling beneath your feet? Do you remember that? I do. I was forced to leave America and find a job outside because I couldn't find one with a doctorate. I have a doctorate, and I couldn't find a job. And many jobs said, because you don't support Obama, they wouldn't hire me. That's what socialism does. So I want to say this. I am not asking you to hate Joe Biden. I don't hate Joe Biden. I refuse to hate anyone, but he is an enemy. I am not asking you to despise Kamala Harris, but I know she hates the country, so I would hate her as president, but I refuse to hate her personally. I am not even asking you to love Donald Trump. Perhaps you don't like his personality, but I like the paychecks, don't you? I like the security, the safety, and knowing that he cares about me. I am asking you to vote for the nation's security, prosperity. If you vote for America's safety, America's security, America's hope, America's prosperity, America's future, for your future and your children's future, there's no question, then you will vote for Donald J. Trump and you will reject Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We have no choice. There is no other choice. Only Donald Trump will allow you to have the future you envision for your children. On November 3rd, please vote for America. And if you do, that means you will vote for Donald J. Trump. I love you all, and I believe in you all. I have great confidence in the American people. I'm one of you. Donald Trump's one of you too. Be proud to be an American. Don't be ashamed. And vote for those who are proud of you. Donald J. Trump is proud of the American people. Let's vote for him and show him we're proud to do so. God bless you all. I'll be having some more videos. I hope you keep watching. And I'm only doing this to make sure you know who you're voting for and that you have all the information you need. That's what I think. Please let me know what you think. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you so much.